Hello. Okay, that was just me being silly. Hello and welcome to Snap Together Saturday. I'm King Kuga. Tonight I am building. What am I building? I don't know. It's not like it's right in front of me. I was trying to think of something witty, but I need to prepare my jokes if I'm going to do that. I'm building the real grade Wing Gundam. I always have trouble positioning it so I don't.
Cadmium cosplay. I can only really stay for about 15 to 20 minutes. I've got an early shift tomorrow.
Dishonor. No, that's fine. But yeah, Wing Gundam. It's the Wing Gundam. What do you want me to say? It's real grade. So I'm probably not even gonna finish the frame tonight, but maybe I will. Who knows?
Noah Bowden. You're building another one of your Transformers.
That's right. I am. Thank you, Noah. Yeah, I said. It's a real grade, so I'll be lucky if I finish just the inner frame tonight. You will probably not see any armor. But that's the plan. So let's just not stop beating around the bush, and let's get into it. Here's a box. Isn't it a pretty box? That's it. That's the stream. Okay, that's not the stream. I'm feeling exceptionally silly tonight. I don't know why. But, was my thing not grabbing the chat? That's weird. Let me make sure that this is... Like, I can hear the chat comments. It's just not showing up in the lower left corner. I wasn't sure if that was... Okay. Must have been reset when I switched inputs. Okay, anyway.
Cadmium cosplay. Man, that's an Autotron Megabot.
Alright. So this is the Wing Gundam TV version. The original Wing. So XXXG01W. Not EW in its waltz. Not the Wing Zero. Just the Wing Gundam. What's in the box? You'll be shocked to hear there are runners in the box. Crazy. The runners go up to, what was it, I? I think, yeah, I don't think they go to J. Some of them doubled. So they go to I to letter I plus the beam sabers. It's a nice clear green.
Noah Bowden. Oh yeah, I forgot. That thing does actually transform, lol.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Ah, damn, I bent the instructions a little bit. Whatever. So I'm only gonna, for now, just gonna leave the all the colored bits.
Cadmium cosplay. She's a runner. She's a trap star.
Y'all are weird. Wouldn't have it any other way. You're my audience. We got the advanced MS joint 19, which I think is just for the wing bracers. Otherwise, no advanced MS joints. They were moving away from them at this time, which is, depending on who you ask, could be good or bad. I think they were cool, but I understand they were failing over time. So, runner A, D, C. Where's B? Is B a white one? Oh, B is the advanced MS joint. Duh. Alright, C. Two C's. And D, I may not even want to use this thing, but I'll put it in here for now. And put that back in the box. Alright. Tools. By the way, something funny I discovered the other day is that my markers that I got like a year ago have a second layer in them. I just found that out. There's an entire second layer in this box that I didn't realize was there, with like more colors, with like my purples and browns and gold and black. I thought it was a weird selection, just all a bunch of bright colors. I was like, yeah, I'll roll with it. Like it even says on the box, there's 30 colors, right there. I just never thought about it. I was like, yeah, this is 30, right?
Cosplay. LOL.
So I'm sorry, Mom, that I missed half the colors in the marker set I asked you to buy for my Christmas gift 2 years ago, year and a half, whatever. Anyway, that year. Whatever. We live and we learn. What you gonna do? But laugh about it. I probably will not use these tonight because I don't think there's much to do on the inner frame, but we shall see. They're there if I need them. They are there if I should need them. A couple of things that should be there if I need them. Alright. Let us leave. By which I mean, let's get into it. What about the instructions? There they are. There's my instructions, how to assemble.
Noah Bowden. Building an inner frame on something that's the size of a high grade sounds like a son of a bitch.
Done it before, I'll do it again. Real grades are a challenge, and that's why I like them. XXXG01W Wing Gundam, a shooting star that flew in from the dark void of space. The XXXG01W Wing Gundam was a unit deployed by the L1 Colony Group during Operation Meteor. It was developed by Dr. J, one of the 5 scientists who developed the Wing Gundam Zero. The Wing Gundam was equipped with Gundanium alloy armor and a buster rifle, and had the closest resemblance with the concept of the original Wing Gundam Zero out of the 5 Gundams developed by each colony. The transformation mechanism for bird mode, the most prominent feature of this MS, was not implemented into the other 4 Gundams, granting the Wing Gundam a high degree of versatility and mobility. The MS was capable of single unit suppression abilities, was capable of melee combat and firefight, making it a highly operable unit that inherited the single unit suppression abilities of the original unit. Its powerful combat powers enabled it to handle various environments and tactics, and its abilities were fully utilized by the piloting techniques of its pilot, Hiro Yui, leaving solid results in Operation Meteor. The thing I like about real grades here is they start with the legs. They understand how I work. They build from the bottom up. So it's legs, waist, torso, arms, head, and then backpack. The thing they do that I don't prefer is they armor up as you go. So I will certainly be making adjustments as I go along, because I like to build the entire inner frame and then go back and do the armor. That's just my preference. So see, I'm making 2 of these. $30, $29, and $26, and $21. Oh, $20, $29. Okay.
Cadmium cosplay. Also the most likely to have a suicidal pilot.
That's not the fault of the wing. That's the guy they tapped. 26. That'd be the toes. The toesy woesies.
Cadmium cosplay. My wife added Just Communication to our travel playlist because of all the times she heard it play on movie nights.
Excellent. I like your wife. I need to meet her someday. She understands the assignment.
Cadmium cosplay. I think y'all have technically met before.
Maybe. It's been a while. Or it was like on stream or something. That's enough to start with.
Cadmium cosplay. MamaCon years ago.
Must have been quite a while ago. Or I just have a terrible memory. Both are possible. I actually don't know. Load for me.
cadmium cosplay. Okay, that's it for me. I'm going to bed.
Have a good night. Message me when you wake up. Maybe I'll still be awake. I don't know. I guess I can put this in the top right corner. It shouldn't have anything copyrighted in it. 1 second, just so you can follow along with what I'm watching. I've basically, I know all the announcements already, but I missed the actual stream, so I'm going to watch this stream for the Transformers stream. Boo, Nate. This guy has no passion for Transformers. Vector Prime.
Gosh, it feels like it was just yesterday when like you were pitching the idea, and we were incredibly excited now to see that like literally 13 Prime we're showing off today.
Couldn't be happier about the fan feedback as well.
Really
you guys are on board with the 13 Primes, and I love it. So yeah, we're gonna have the last Prime today.
13th, which is crazy. So we're gonna go through all of that. We're actually gonna mix things up. We're gonna give you, to my knowledge, at least in my experience, the earliest San Diego Comic-Con reveals that I think we've ever done.
I think so.
A full month plus. So we're gonna show you
Goodies.
both of our Comic-Con exclusives. So yes, that's right. You heard we have 2 Comic-Con exclusives, but we're also going to bring on our special friend Paul, who's our franchise lead. So he does a lot of the outside of the toy stuff. So we're going to bring him in. He's going to give you an apology tour updates, and we're going to get into San Diego Comic-Con as well. We're going to also give you a Pulse update, some really cool things that we're doing there.
This stream is gonna hit like a truck.
It's gonna excellent, on brand, love it. So I think from there, let's go ahead and get into the deluxe wave of Age of the Primes over there.
All right.
Dealer's choice, Mark. Who we want to cover
Dealer's
first?
choice. All right. The first guy I kind of grabbed was Tailgate.
Love it.
So we're going Tailgate. We're finishing off that mini bot collection here. Obviously off of that wind charger mold.
Yep.
That came out spectacular. That I believe Kunihiro-san and Evan Brooks worked on. But Kunihiro-san also worked on Tailgate, and Tailgate, man, I mean, it's a great mini bot, and actually, I brought the G1 toy but it's all yellowed out, so it wouldn't look good next to this, but it is fantastic. He does have the gimmick where you can touch the back of the head and look up and look down, which is very cool. I love that because obviously he's got kind of like a shelled out dome piece. Just a fantastic, basically partial of the character. New head. The weapon is the same as I believe Wing Charger's pistol, but he does not come along with the blast effect. But there are some new parts on here, and he's looking beautiful. I mean, obviously vehicle mode is pretty bad. Yeah, the little
tailpipe feature. I love that. I love the all white. Where I feel like we don't do a ton of like the very clean, like pristine white. So I love this one, and obviously I'm sure fans are already thinking about, oh, what are they going to turn this guy into in the future? And yes, I can promise you we already got some plans for how we're going to continue to utilize this mold, which we both love so much. I love the back with the ribs on the back. Like, I love that little
louvers.
Yeah,
louvers.
I knew that ribs was not the right word, but louvers. That's why we're always together.
Yeah, the vehicle mode is pretty outrageous. Actually, it's really outstanding. It just kind of takes you to Tailgate immediately. Just a very solid mini bot to add to the rest of your collection, which is spectacular. I don't think we have that many mini bots left.
We're running out.
So we might.
I'm sure there's a long list we're gonna see in the comments.
Well, yeah, but you know, there's obviously all the weirdo repaints that we can get into. But you know, I think it's time for throttle bots and a bunch of other type of characters to come along. All right.
That's a hint.
I agree.
All right. Well, who's next?
Dealer's choice, man. Who do you want to go? Can we bring out Fangry? Can we do Fangry?
Yeah, Fangry.
Let's do
Yeah,
Fangry.
bust him out of that 4-pack that he was in, which was key. And he's got a little Briscoe riding on the werewolf monster there. But fantastic item. It's so long ago that we worked on this item. I don't even remember the TT designer that worked on it. I think it was maybe June-san. But fantastic character. Obviously, for your headmasters, you want to actually complete the horrible with squeeze play with Fangry. I leaned in on the head sculpt of the werewolf sculpted head because Ken Christensen did a nice rendition of this character that we utilized for the concept art for this. But I leaned more into the comic book version of the head. I love that monster aspect of it. The werewolf. I'm a big werewolf guy, so like that aspect of this character kind of like sat with me. So made sure, and obviously hot pink Transformers.
Yeah, I like that. And pop open his chest so we get to see.
Oh, I took Briscoe out. I made him his headmaster, but yes, he does fit into the
pop
chest.
it open at least.
Yeah, he does fit into the chest.
Let's see if we can.
I got no nails. My nails are
Same.
gone. There we go. There's his head master coming off. I do like that we did keep obviously
Excuse me.
strength and intelligence meter. That was huge back in the day on the old toys, and I thought that was a key element to keep. I love the fact that he just has an all green face. Honestly, I love that. That's very rare to have the different colored faces. I'm a big fan of different colored faces.
Well, I mean, but like you said, like the werewolf kind of head is just it's such a fun juxtaposition between like all the other figures that we typically do, and anytime you can kind of almost get like a little second figure, but I love that you can tuck them in there. Just love anytime we can get one of those gimmicks and that old school feel to it.
Of course. Bark at the moon. Shout out to Ozzy. All right. Here we go.
All right, who you want next?
Let's do the Blanker and
Yeah.
Peaceman, but I believe we couldn't get that Peaceman, so it's Peacemaker, which is fine. Obviously, you can see we went solid with this guy on the windshield, which makes him definitely different from that first reborn sculpt that we did for Point Blank. Obviously, you got to finish out your target masters, but this is a new head sculpt for this guy, which is really looking amazing with the solid chest. Actually, colors came out fantastic. I love little Peacemaker. I love Target Masters, basically. I mean, huge fan of Target Masters, so I would like to just further try to complete more Target Masters, all about the Target Masters. So yeah, just a wicked alt mode as well, just a crazy race cars, pretty wild.
Great figure.
Sui-san worked on this with me. He did a fantastic job.
As always.
As always.
Sui-san.
Yes. TT, the Lords, the Wizards.
All right, where to next?
Do we have any more deluxe?
We got one more.
Do.
Well, we got two more. We got one new, and then we've got the package refresh.
This is a sleeper, I think.
I think so too. This is where you were talking about kind of testing it out a little bit.
So Power Masters, here we are.
The colors on this
Joyride. Look at Joy. Are you kidding me? We did Joyride. Yes, we did. So when I did Sure Shot with Yuya-san, we were talking about all heads, and I was like, you know what? If we made those spoilers come off on 5mm ports and we put them on the legs, it could be very accurate to Joyride. So he was feeling it, so we made it happen, and then actually we ended up doing a little partial for the actual Power Master that turns into this bulky engine, which is really dope. I absolutely love it. It's really cool. Definitely a cool aspect of this character. And just, yeah, the colors, actually Eric Siebenauer worked on the colors.
Who's back?
When I was out, yes, who's back in the mix. So yeah, when I was out in fraternity, you got to work on the colors. But yeah, fantastic item, highly articulated. Yuya always kills it with the articulation on these characters. And just the alt mode is just fantastic.
Yeah, I love the alt mode.
The Dune buggies always sit well with me.
Anytime like you got the, for me, I'm such a sucker for like the smaller tires and the tires.
Yeah. So please tell us about your love for Power Masters, 'cause we'll dive in.
Is there interest in Power Master Optimus? Is there interest in like really
Tell
kind of
us.
diving deep? Again,
Tell
trying to get some new collections out there for you all. Well, yes, of course. Finishing collections, which I think is actually unintentionally but a good transition into speaking of finishing collections.
Yes.
So we actually, in this wave of deluxe, so case pack at 8, we actually have 5 characters in this one, and this of course is Vortex. So one of the main pieces, Bruticus, we launched this, I think it was the last wave of 2025. So because he was the very first one, we just want to make sure that you get another opportunity to collect him again. Lessons learned on breakdown, so making sure that if you didn't quite believe us that we were going to complete Bruticus in a year like we said we were, that we're bringing him back out, so you have another option to get that first one that we offered. And then yes, the number of comments I've seen about where the blank is Swindle.
Well, fan favorite character.
Yeah. But yes, we revealed him a while ago, and just to kind of give you a little inside baseball on why we revealed it, I've seen a lot of questions about it, but the reason we revealed Swindle so early was just so before you dove into Bruticus, we understand it takes a lot to collect a full Bruticus combiner. We wanted to reveal as much as we possibly could, so I think we revealed this at CCSP in December, which is almost a full year ahead of time. But we wanted to make sure before you dove into Bruticus that you had all the information that you needed to make your wise decision on. Of course, you're gonna get Bruticus, but we want to make sure you saw all the figures at once. So hopefully you love it as much as we do. So yes, finally pre-orders are going live for Swindle here, and again another opportunity to pick up Vortex.
Couldn't be happier about how
he
Swindle
looks
came out. All the Combaticons are absolutely amazing, individually and together to form Bruticus. I mean, Sui-san worked on all of them. Actually, Ajima-san worked on Vortex, and they all stand on their own very, very strong. I mean, Swindle obviously a fan favorite character. How could you not love Swindle? I love that he comes with this little
I think that's a great touch.
boost, right?
Yeah,
and then that actually adds to Bruticus's big weapon, which is really dope. The Jeep came out dope. He's got the little seats in there, a little military style Jeep. I mean, all the Combaticons. I would love to actually further that team and do new Combaticons. That probably add along with Bruticus.
I know there's already things that you're already working on that we won't get into right now. As far as on that, I absolutely love it. I've seen some of the designs.
Excuse me.
What I love about Age of the Prime, like Studio Series, of course, true to content, true to scale, all that. But I love what of course, what Evan's doing on Studio Series. But what Mark has, really what we've been calling internally just Age of the Primes is in really generations, just kind of a sandbox. So you really get to have a lot of fun and do some new alt modes, new characters even. And then to finish the final primes, of course, we got Vector Prime, all sorts of theories and all sorts of guesses on how we were going to handle this one. So, Mark, take it away on Vector.
So, Galaxy Force Deco on Vector Prime, I had to do it because it's a must. I ended up actually really, really leaning into to the original toy deco, but I tried to amp it up as much as possible, and I think it actually came out fantastic.
The colors are
We
fantastic.
actually, the plastic that has the metallic sheen that's inside of the plastic really does work very well. A lot more well compared to other characters that would do metallic sheens. It was kind of a new process, and they kind of like did almost like a 90% solid, 10% transparent with like certain type of metallic flake that was put into the urethane mold. Came out spectacular. Yuya-san actually did this character, which was also a partial off of Jax's, which was wild. But he does have his cyberplanetary key. Obviously, you can see on his chest. You can pop that puppy off and put it on his blade of time, which is obviously his artifact. So instead of the blades of time, we changed it to the blade of time. So I mean, it's still really cool. It actually is the same sword, but the deco scheme on it is really nice, and obviously it comes with the obvious 13 Primes logo, like all the other artifacts. I'm sure you guys saw the Sentinel Prime pack with the conduit, so please collect all those artifacts so you have a nice little display area for all your artifacts combined. And then the story plot with Sentinel Prime we should get into later. That's a pretty interesting world that we were living in there. But yeah, fantastic.
There he is, all 13.
All 13, finally. I should have brought all 13. No room for them all, but should have.
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con.
We already got our shelf that we'll show them all. I love seeing all the photos online of everyone's their collection. So now finally you can complete it. And because we took a while to get this pre-order out there, I mean, goodness, the final wave isn't even that far away, so you'll be able to get these guys in hand not too much longer.
What are we doing?
So those are the two Voyagers. Now Megazeric, I think, is where we were going to go next.
Yes.
So moving into Leader.
This is really
I love the colors on this guy.
Yeah, I believe Sam Smith and Sui-san worked on the original mold of this guy. Actually, Nick Barnaby in the shop helped me out with the colors while I was out on this. But yeah, fantastic recolor of Megatron. As you can see, anything in black and metallics is pretty much a love of mine. That's definitely fitting on my shelf. I don't know about yours, but please do collect this guy. We do have actually another item that's coming that would actually complete this guy, which is the Minicons. So we'll talk about that in a second.
I think that's
for
going to blow
sure.
people away when they
But,
actually see what the toy turned out to be.
Yes. So here
I
he
love
is.
the colors on this.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
neon
well,
orange.
fantastic.
Yeah, looks fantastic.
All
So
right,
getting
let's
into
move on.
our last leader, this one might be my favorite of the line for these waves. Because again, like what we were just talking about, the Sandbox. So this is the Unicron Soldier. Really, I mean, I was gonna say the first time, but this is like an all new character that is a Mark original. So like, talk about the lore and kind of how you came up with this guy.
So, since we were doing Age of the Primes, there's obviously a want for Primus and Unicron, obviously. So, in our lore, obviously, there's many moments in time where Primus and Unicron have like avatars, almost like acolytes of them that do their bidding. So the concept here was also we were doing a lot of Cybertron characters from the Unicron trilogy era, and they had like a smaller version of Unicron back then, which turned into a tank, and I was like, oh man, it would be really cool to get something like that in the line. So we actually partialed Megatronus. Yuki-san worked on this with me and really came up with this all new version of a Unicron acolyte, basically. And I think he came out fantastic. As you can see, he's got the anti-aircraft gun missiles on the back with his huge machete, and then he's got like crazy spike details of the Unicron.
I love the
Unicron hornage.
The back here, like all those knots. So obviously the head sculpt, it looks fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, the head sculpt actually was inspired by the comics. There's like a gang of Unicron loyalists, so like we kind of went along with that. There was a lot of back and forth. I had like an enormous love for Unicron.
Ooh, that locks in. That's
Yuki-san,
nice.
And like we had a good time working on this together, and I think it comes out very, very well in colors here. Hopefully you guys collect this guy, maybe even troop build this guy if you want to have an army of Unicrons battling the 13 Primes. I mean, that would be a really cool visual. But he also does have a unique logo. Since we were doing,
I was just gonna
we
say.
were doing all the unique logos for basically all the 13 primes. This is actually an older logo that hasn't been used in a long time, but I would like to continue using it for any of our Unicron characters, basically, going forward. The same thing, I believe I put a Quintesson logo with the green face on one of the henchmen. So trying to separate those collections very, very well with the logos. Same thing with the Wrecker collection. I want, because my shelf is very particular,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that all these guys go together on their one shelf. So hopefully you guys go in on this character. I hope you guys love him as much as I do.
Yeah, and I love what you did. Like, again, so obviously we did the HasLab Unicron, and we get questions about re-releasing that one, which we're not going to do. Like, we've been pretty consistent on the HasLabs. We want to make continue to be special. So that Unicron, I'll specify that Unicron, we're not going to do again. And I'd love actually to see your comments on and your thoughts on if we were to do another Unicron. I mean, honestly, I'll probably say when we do another Unicron, like what you guys would be interested in, what you all would be interested in as far as like if we were ever doing him and like crossing the streams here a little bit, talking about 86, but. Would you guys like a Unicron that's like a Titan scale or even a Commander scale or even a Leader scale just to have something for the collection? That's something that we talk about a lot because I know we try to be very sensitive to scale, but also we want to be open the doors for different versions.
I don't have a lot of room on my shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
Anymore.
So like we try to be sensitive to that because I know we've got limited shelf space ourselves, but we'd love to see your comments on future of Unicron and toy, what you guys what you all would be interested in. But I do love this edition. I love anytime we're doing a new character. Love to do that. Okay, so now that we've gone over all the Age of Prime, of course you're wondering when can I pre-order these things. So 1 p.m. Eastern, June 9th, 1 p.m. Eastern is when all these will be available for pre-order. Really excited. Again, we're going to be able to finish your Rudikiss, finish your 13th Prime with Vortex, and of course all the incredible the Fangeries, the tailgates, the blankers, all the ones that we just went over. It's a lot. Again, appreciate your patience. I know everyone's like, when are we going to get back to Age of Primes? Because we've been talking a ton about the Apology Tour, which we're going to get into some more. I have some incredible updates that our good friend Paul is going to give us. So that's all the information for Age of Primes right now. Woo. More to come from Age of the Primes. We're not going to get into that just yet, but there are more Age of the Primes coming after this wave. Probably spoiled something there, but there's more Age of Primes coming, whatever.
You did.
Yeah, but that's fine. So then we're going to actually transition to a Pulse update. So let's get into our Pulse exclusive. This one, when you were first kind of pitching this one to our team, and the numbers you were talking about, I was like, Mark, we can't make this happen. But honestly, the engineering team, you obviously, TT, like we're able to make this happen. So this is our Power Links Red Alert pack. And how many minicons does this come with? I know everyone's been begging for more minicons, and this is almost like the minicon pack to end all minicons. We're still going to do more minicons, but we have a ton, and Mark is still not done bringing all the minicons that come in this pack. But you got a total of 8 minicons. Yes, 8 minicons that come with this pack with Power Links Red Alert. So I'll hand it over to Mark to go through all these guys.
Well, first of all, Power Links Red Alert.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, first of all, Unicron Trilogy fans, rise up.
Yeah.
Like that's another thing here. Shout out to Aaron Archer out there as well, because this was really a coup de grace moment of all the characters we've been trying to release for Armada. It's like, where's the minicon? Where's the minicon? Where's the minicon? Because obviously that was the whole point of the series is the minicon power-up.
Yeah.
So like, this obviously came from that idea where we needed to finish out like a bunch of minicons that are part of the characters that you need power-ups for. So obviously first, just a recolor of Red Alert in its Power Links deco is very good looking. I love this like rescue type of vehicle. This mold came out fantastic. Tomo-san worked on it with me, and that RoboCop vibe is just so good. Like it's just so cool to see no hand with a blaster hand and stuff like that. That was very different as part of that Armada series. And then all the other minicons here, 8, as I said, minicons. You get the Dark Saber, You get obviously the counterparts to like your Armada Starscream, which is very interesting actually. I believe Ajima-san worked on some of these, and there's a certain unique lockup mechanism for the swindle that goes on the Armada Starscream, because when we first started doing the Armada characters, I wasn't certain. We were all really not certain as far as like, you know, how big the fandom is out there for Armada.
It feels obvious now after seeing the success.
Correct.
But it is funny. Goodness, like 2 years ago, I think I want to say like launched with like Starscream was one of the first ones.
Yes, and the reason why I was able to do that Starscream is because he was a partial off of the Reactivate Starscream. So I don't think a lot of people even realized it, because you really couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But because that was the first one, it didn't really have the minicom port. So he does have a clip that does slide back on, that does finish your guy. So I mean, same thing. You got Leader 1 for the Megatron and the Megazarak. Man, it's just so much here. Sparkplug, obviously. I mean, actually, I took a lot of time to do the detail drawings for Sparkplug. I wanted to make sure that he was quintessential for the Optimus.
Yeah, I love this Iron Man.
Jam-packed value pack, right?
Love
here.
this one.
Yeah,
Again,
a lot of
Pulse
fun.
exclusive. And then again, just some more spoilers. I know, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the only two that we're missing from the main lineup, and obviously there's more beyond it, is Cyclonus and Demolisher, which our fans remind us regularly. And I can't confirm timing, but yes, we're
At
doing
SNH
Cyclonus.
Productions.
Yes, we're doing Demolisher. So
My reaction to the mini-cons, it's been 84 years.
It's been long enough. They should have been gang molded with their bulks. I'm not really a fan of the Armada upgrades, mostly. If I'm being fully honest. They're just lacking something, especially that Megatron. He is very lacking in fun.
Tell you the timing just yet. Information to follow. So as I mentioned, this is a Pulse exclusive, so this will be pre-ordering June 9th as well. There is a Hasbro Pulse Premium exclusive window from 1 p.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern for just our premium members, and then open wide up at 2 p.m. Eastern again on June 9th. So June 9th and all the Age of the Primes, June 9th as well. Again, 1 p.m. for all the Age of the Primes, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. exclusive window, and then open up at 2 p.m. But more for Pulse. More for Pulse.
At SNH Productions. I personally like Megs after modding his turret. Also, how goes you tonight?
It goes. Nothing much to speak of.
Honestly, goodness, like half an hour ago when we first
Jesus,
came here,
that's
this
huge.
was the first time we'd actually seen.
That's what she said.
This Flame Toys Ultra Magnus based off the Optimus Prime version. Flame Toys just
They always crush it.
unbelievable
Always crush it.
stuff. So this will be going for pre-order as well. And this one, I just want to get into some details here. I mean, it's just unbelievable what that team is able to do. So you've got six, I mean, goodness, a handful right here, but you got six different complete set of hands. Over 200 points of articulation. You've got die cast, and there's these tiny buttons you can't see here, but you can actually press these on to light up the chest, light up the head, and actually, do you mind opening up the chest there a little bit? Just some I mean, just the level of detail and finish here is just unbelievable. So, shout out to Flame Toys team for knocking this one absolutely out of the park. Of course, comes with a display stand here, unbelievable packaging as well, which you'll see online. But what's really cool about this one, so this is incredibly premium, but our good friends over at Pulse, we are offering a 40% discount for this figure and a hand selection of other Transformers figures, a lot of TT imports, some really great figures, 40% off. Probably, as you can probably guess,
At SNH Productions.
so this is part of
But
really
Prime,
Apology
I'm
Tour, and again,
I'm just a soldier.
oh my gosh,
I'm not worthy.
Don't forget
Yeah,
the
my goodness.
accessories.
This guy is like practically human size.
outrageous, dude. metallic paint. It's got like almost like a vac metal chrome look to it.
Yeah, it's
outrageous.
Outrageous is the right word for it. So 40% off for this figure, but as I mentioned, some other hand-selected figures as well. That 40% off window is going to start also on June 9th and go for, you guessed it, 40 days. So again, just a thank you / apology to the fans, so you can pick up some of those gaps you might have in your collection at a great discount, again, as part of celebrating this unbelievable year in 2026 for the 40th anniversary.
It's madness.
What else am I forgetting? Or is that everything now?
It's absolute madness.
Yes, it's an incredible figure. So again, Flame Toys, Ultra Magnus Optimus Prime version, just an incredible figure. But other figures also, as I mentioned, 40%
There's
off
something
as well.
backwards
So,
or the wrong way around?
yeah, so that's kind of the Pulse update. That's the Age of
Pulse
Primes
deals.
update.
Oh, that's the. Oh, it's,
Power
okay, that's what it
Links,
is.
Red Alert update, and now actually we're going to transition into what I talked about at the very beginning. We're going to get into some San Diego Comic-Con and some Apology Tour updates. So I'm actually now going to ask Paul, who is our franchise lead. So again, just think everything Transformers outside of toy that Paul leads. Did an incredible job. His second stint on Transformers, so he's nobody new to the brand. So we're going to bring on Paul right now. Awesome.
Everyone,
good to see you,
Nate,
brother.
Mark, good to see you guys. So happy to be back on Transformers. We got a ton of exciting news for Transformers. So much great stuff happening on the brand right now. Specifically, the Apology Tour, the 40th anniversary celebration of the Transformers, the movie. Yes, this is the moment that changed all of our lives forever when Optimus Prime died in the first 25 minutes of the movie. This is truly a celebration of that shared global experience that all of us lived either in theaters.
The movie was a box office flop.
Renting it from Blockbuster. This is truly a moment that we're celebrating that really, in my opinion, I think reshaped the future of Transformers. Transformers would have been in a very, very different place
Yeah, can you imagine?
had Optimus Prime not been brought back from the dead, had people not been outraged all over the world in that moment 40 years ago. And so this is what we are celebrating. We're celebrating it with all of you. With the
You want to know how badly the movie flopped? The My Little Pony movie at the time made more money. Not a lot more, but more. I guess beloved now, but at the time it was full of sound and fury signifying nothing.
Apology Tour. We had some big announcements a couple weeks ago with the vinyl album, the Transformers, the movie, the soundtrack, the reformatted edition. This is our album that we worked with our partners with RPM Music on. It is reformatted versions of all of our songs. They sound just as good as they did 40 years ago, especially The Touch by Stan Bush. Did you guys listen to that? Yeah. It was
That played nonstop all day long.
Stan Bush is 72 years old, and I would say that he sounds better at 72 than he did 40 years ago.
Amazing.
So super excited about that. And today, now on streaming platforms, is the reformatted version of the Transformers theme song by Brittany Slays of Unleash the Archers. It's a great song. Listen to it on streaming platforms. Check out YouTube for the music video. It's awesome. We have more surprises coming in store for the Transformers, the movie, the soundtrack, the reformatted edition.
Amazing.
If you haven't already, pre-order
At
now.
SNH
So many
Productions.
album variants.
Damn, if I had a nickel for every time magical ponies dominated alien robots, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a whole lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, shout out Matt Ferguson. Great job on the artwork. It's
The leg!
It's incredible.
My leg!
But yeah, so much in store. Head to our social accounts for more information on the album, where to pre-order. Yeah, so exciting about the album. And then, and then, the moment you've all been waiting for. We are re-releasing The Transformers, the movie, back in theaters in partnership with Fathom Entertainment. Coming back to theaters September 17th, which is also Transformers Day, which is super exciting. So for more information on that, go to fathomentertainment.com. Tickets go on sale. This will be a global release, launching internationally in select markets, day and date, with the domestic release on September 17th. So excited about all the stuff we have in store for that re-release. Relive this moment that heartbreak where it all began, or
That's
live
a
it for the first
Thursday.
time if you're a new fan for Transformers. Maybe a little too young for 40
And bring the
years
kids.
ago. And bring the kids, yes. Record your kids. See, get their reaction. Post it to TikTok,
It's
you know?
gonna hit like a truck.
It's gonna hit like a truck
Again.
for sure. Again. So super excited about that. Like I said,
All right,
make sure you go to
we built the leg. Let's build a leg again.
Alerts. Also go to our social channels for more information on the screenings as well. That was a lot. I'm exhausted. So many great stops on the
Very
Apology
exciting.
tour for sure. Not to mention the incredible Studio Series product that you guys have done
With more to come.
for the movie.
With more to come.
Yeah, so it's truly is a celebration. So many stops on the tour, but there's going to be a big stop on the tour for all you San Diego Comic-Con goers. So I think we have a lot of exciting news here for the Apology tour. First up, panel, of course, right? So we're gonna have our Transformers brand panel. Lots of great, exciting updates there.
Reveals.
The juiciest reveals. Those reveals are gonna hit like a truck.
Takara designers will be in house as well.
Yes,
Which
indeed.
we're very excited to get the
Yeah.
Takara designers stateside.
Always.
Real excited about that. The plan is to have them on the panel actually, which I think the first time we've done. it in a long time.
Amazing.
Really excited
Oh,
about
now
that.
that's
Nice.
Really
exciting.
excited about that.
Yeah. So go to our social channels for when we're gonna announce that panel date. But super excited about that. And then of course I think there's con exclusives. I would imagine, right?
Yeah,
I'd be
let's start
pretty
with Marks.
disappointed if I didn't.
So we're up in the game with two. The first one is one that Mark worked on, and the packaging on this, Amy Bentz, our packaging designer, graphic designer, just did. I don't know how she found the time for the attention to detail on this one, but like everything from like the cutout that you have, from the ingredients, just every single touch is just so good. So this,
You
of
say
course,
the touch?
Yeah, exactly. But this is obviously inspired by the unfortunately canceled Transformers,
Wish I had a
the
bowl and-
Transformers,
bowl
the
and spoon.
cereal, back in the day. But this is just a packaging. But of course, getting into to the toy itself. So what is actually inside? So we're gonna kind of do a mini.
Yeah,
What's in the
do an
box?
What's in the box?
Yeah, do an
We're gonna
unboxing
do a
as I bring out
mini
the robot modes.
unboxing.
You
So
wanna
we've
see
got
the
the
vehicle.
spoiler here, but the touch again. Shout out to Andrew Mallon, our structure engineer. Look at this cereal package. It's just so good.
It takes you right there.
It's right.
It's like it's all prize, no cereal.
Exactly.
Prize no cereal.
But what I love about this one is, again, if you're familiar with this canceled series, this is supposed to come with your Autobot Jazz in here, but so finally you're getting your Autobot Jazz, which is, it's like a super core scale. I wouldn't quite call it core. What would you call it, Mark?
Yeah, it's basically a simplified core, but like it retains the G1 essence of the original toy so beautifully. I absolutely love how chibi and chunky came out, just like the OG toy.
Chunky boy.
Yeah,
He is a chunky boy.
chunky boy. He's got all the
At SNH
but not
Productions.
only you get the mini
0/10,
you get
no real
the
cereal.
Optimus Deluxe with the new head
I'll let it slide this time.
is reformatted in his animated color
white
scheme.
pants.
With the white pants, white smokestacks, and the trailer. You get a vintage trailer that does link up with that Deluxe Optimus, and you can see the beautiful Transformers logo, inkjet printed on the trailer. It takes you right back to the old GT
I've never
toys.
seen anything more beautiful.
Right? I mean, it really
Put this in
does
the Louvre.
blink.
Gorgeous.
I couldn't be more thrilled about all of this that's going on.
I love this. There's just so much fun here. Again, I love this jazz so much, and we're definitely already looking at like what we can do with this scale, and I just love the kind of fidgetiness of this, and it also gives us opportunities to do different characters in this. But love that toy surprise there, and then you still got the trailer, which Mark has got opened up over here, which of course comes with roller.
Some really nice paint
Really good
application.
matrix,
A
unbelievable
lot
matrix
of nice
there.
paint applications here. You obviously get the Energon X. You still got the ability to
Oh!
launch roller. I mean, come on now. Come on.
This is just when we come up with our con exclusives, we always think is like it has to stick out like a sore thumb in all the best ways. Like how do we do something we can never get away with somewhere else? So this is why we have Mark just did such a good job having so much fun with this item. So love this one. Again, just the packaging is just beautiful, display ready. You just close it back up. I messed up the box just like I do with all my cereal boxes at home. I get yelled at for. But that's just the first one.
Yeah,
That's right.
Playing with some Transformers right here.
But that's just the first one.
That's just the first
so
one.
we're gonna
That's right.
transition
Wait,
one.
there's more?
There's
more.
another exclusive.
Oh, right, the
This
gym
is one
thing.
that Evan worked on, and to be honest, this is a collab I've been pitching for.
You've been
Trying to get this one going for a long time, and we, Britt for Gem. Was actually a Comic-Con last year, was part of the concert for Cold Slither with our good friends with the Joe team. So we thought, how do we take it up another notch? So we're doing our first collab as a con exclusive, but this, of course, is a collab with Gem and the Holograms.
Yes.
You guys have been asking for more cassettes, so you get 3 cassettes. We're going to call them the KP cassettes. You can probably read into why we're just calling them KP. But you've got redecoed blaster.
Somehow,
here
Kiss players returned.
Comes with, of course, your guitar. You got the KP players, Glint, Sundor, and Rosanna. All new blasters for Rosanna here. Again, some real deep cut cassettes, but we know how much you guys have been asking for cassettes.
My water bottle.
It's the first time I've seen it in person. This is
Jake, where'd you put my water bottle?
Just unbelievable package. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see
right there.
the camera on here, but it is just so beautifully neon aged. Again, Amy just did an unbelievable job on
I think
these.
it's truly outrageous.
It is outrageous. But I love this figure. And he comes with a microphone accessory, and he comes with a guitar accessory, but you can actually flip this one around, and well, you got a little guitar here.
Somehow this becomes leg.
Well, so just
amped up. There's glitter sparkle.
Metallic gold.
metallic,
So
some
pretty.
pretty
I
metallic
just want to look at
plates
this
in there.
myself
Definitely
again.
is
'Cause this is
outrageous.
Evasive Digi.
love this.
Best promotion on Streambo.org.
Obviously, complete all your collection for your cassettes. I know we've been kind
A lot
of
of
Nope.
cassettes
on
coming.
the
A lot of
cassettes.
cassettes.
Keep going. Keep collecting them all. They're really cool to basically
I can't remember the last time we did.
form out a
Goodness.
shelf. Oh my God, these are like
decades.
e-hobby exclusives
Yeah.
from like the 80s. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. But speaking of Gem,
Speaking of Gem, yeah, it's funny that you guys actually did this. It's so weird. It's like we talked or something.
so
before
weird.
this. But truly, this is the first time I've seen this in person.
Oh, really?
This is
Yeah,
this
no,
is so
no,
awesome. I'm like
You're
so
doing a great
excited
job
with this.
pretending. No,
I'm like, no, I'm like this actual reaction video right now. I love this. I can't stop thinking about it. But speaking of Gem,
At SNH Productions.
music,
But they want your
yeah.
car's extended warranty
The
LOL.
Transformers the movie, the soundtrack, the reformatted edition, right? I would say arguably just as iconic as that moment of Optimus succumbing to his injuries and the passing of the matrix of leadership, I would say just as iconic is the soundtrack. Am I right? The music. Without the music, I would have.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be it.
no, it wouldn't be it.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be
bring
it.
a book, right? So, with that in mind, one of our big stops on the Apology Tour is actually going to be at San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
Not the panel, not the con exclusive.
All right.
But we are actually throwing a celebration of life concert for Optimus Prime. What the hell, in the middle of Gaslamp, Thursday, July 23rd. Now, who's performing, you ask?
Yes, I
Would
would
it
love
be-
to know.
We got Gem performing.
Oh, amazing.
We got Cold Slither performing.
Oh.
And
That's what there's gonna be
yeah,
there. Yeah, that's awesome.
and we do have Knights of Unicron performing
Hey!
with some
Love those
very
outfits.
special guests
Love
to
those
be
outfits.
announced very soon.
Oh.
We are so excited about this. This is going to be such an epic concert celebrating Optimus, celebrating the Transformers, the movie, celebrating all of you, celebrating the soundtrack, because the soundtrack is also dropping that weekend physically, so you'll be able to get that. But this is so exciting for the Transformers, the movie, the Apology Tour. Check out our social channels to be alerted when tickets do go on sale. You can set a reminder. Limited quantities. We'll be having special VIP tickets that'll give you access to a VIP party, VIP gift bag, and then general admission tickets, of course. But super excited about this concert. If you did go to Cold Slither last year, this is going to be
Rocks hard.
infinitely times bigger because it is celebrating the hero of all heroes, Optimus Prime. All of his friends are coming out of the woodwork to celebrate him. Gem, Cold Slither, Knights of Unicron. Super excited for this moment. That was a lot. Again,
So
I'm
that's-
exhausted.
That was a lot. That was a jam track. So we saved it up for a while since we've
Come
been
on,
up
one
here.
more. Is there anything under
But,
this?
yeah, I know, right? But yeah, awesome. Thank you, Paul, for that update.
Yeah,
Again,
very
I love
much.
when we can combine toy with bigger franchise plans. I know you guys love to get updates like that. So thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
Paul.
Transformers.
And those aren't the last stops of the apology tour. We got more coming
There's
this year,
more
guys.
coming, and there's even more after Comic-Con
Yeah.
that we're not going to get into just yet, but more to come. And of course, we still have some 86 product for this year that's still coming that we haven't announced just yet.
That's right.
But yeah, so that covers Pulse, covers Comic-Con, Apology Tour, and of course Age of the Primes. Quick reminder, again, June 9th, we've got at 1 p.m. the pre-orders go live. The Pulse exclusive Power Links Red Alert is going to go live for our premium members, Hasbro Pulse premium members at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then followed up at 2 p.m. Eastern for everybody else. And again, don't forget the 40% off special that we're having at Pulse with the Flame Toys Ultra Magnus, and this again some select TT imports and some other items to help continue to celebrate the 40th anniversary. So again, that was quite a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope that was worth the wait. Again, thanks for your patience. Hopefully we're going to get on camera another time, but probably the next time you'll see us is probably Comic-Con. We'll be at the panel. Of course, come by the booth, say hi to all of us. We'll be down there. And Evan will be there. Proof of life, Evan is in the building. We saved him some time today. But again, quite a lot. Thanks for the time. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, roll out.
Thank you.
All right, that's enough of that. Check some bang.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJ Omega channel for day 1732 of our daily content grind. So, today was the Hasbro Fan Pulse stream, and you know, as we always do, I like to give my thoughts and opinions on everything that was announced and revealed. And admittedly, a lot of this stuff we already covered because a lot of the press photos of these toys already dropped a few days ago. However, there are new tidbits, there's new in-hand photos, so we can glean a lot of new stuff from this as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through the screen caps that were taken at TW 2005, and then there's one particular photo we need to look at that came afterwards, because it is extraordinarily relevant, and it has the most to talk about. So, we're going to just begin. Let's just scroll through and we immediately start with the tailgate reveal. No real surprises here, other than Tailgate actually does keep the head tilting gimmick that started off with Wind Charger, which I actually didn't think about. Because like this head design itself, I kind of felt like this would have gotten away with just being like its normal like up and down. Like Wind Charger's head is specifically just a big block, so like getting like up and down motion out of his head, not exactly the most possible thing. But here, I kind of thought, yeah, like you could get away with it here. I mean, it's Tailgate. It's G1 cartoon Tailgate. He really doesn't have anything to go by. You could have like had it his little whole box raise up or tilt back, but still, they worked it in. Kind of neat. Again, my only issue with this toy is the fact that it does not come with any replacement for the magnetic effect accessory, so you are getting a little bit less for your money out of this toy than you did before. It's minor, but I think it counts. I think at the very least it should have been some little replacement piece, just for the sake of like making sure it was even with the rest of the deluxe, the rest of the releases of this mold. The Fangry, did find out Mark was the one who did the head sculpt on the beast mode, so there was that. So apparently he likes his werewolves, but essentially this is, you know, with slight like color tone alterations, I think. I'd have to have mine handy in order to tell myself, but this does just appear to be just like a rerun of the one that was in the multi-pack, which we kind of knew we kind
I'm
of
fine with that
knew,
because I missed that multi-pack.
so no real new things or surprises there. Blanker, which is confirmed, yeah, this is coming out as Blanker, pointing out the new toy accurate, or anime accurate head, take your pick, um, and no translucent plastic. Here's something that I completely missed, and me being me, you'd think I would catch this in the original photos that got revealed of this toy. Yeah, they've taken out all the translucent plastic. He is just completely opaque now. And,
Ugly.
I love when that is an option. I love when that is a thing. I'm still not crazy about the toy itself. I would be more interested in, like, any potential retools or repaints they could get out of this. I'm of the mindset of, like, you could get some fun stuff out of this. Like, there's a lot of, if you could do the retooling to make this like Euro G1 boss if you really wanted to, and it would have been a fun homage. It would have been a fun new figure to throw at us. But it is what it is for now. So you get a second shot at that toy if you miss it the first time, but I do think this one looks better than the prior one that had the
Little bit.
rebirth accurate head. I don't like that head as much. With like the one antenna going back, it's a little bit of an odd head design. This is nicer. I like this one a little bit better. Not enough to double up though. Because the mold's just not good enough to double up. It's missing some things to really feel like it has the worth of the other wave. They did talk about Joyride. So apparently when they did Sure Shot, they actually had it as intended that if we arrange it so that these tail fins, the spoiler in the back, were on 5mm ports, then we could actually move those to the knees on a retool and make this accurate to Joyride. So that was the idea behind it. And if you were like me and kind of wondering why those were just kind of floating pieces on the original toy, that is the reason why. They had this retool in mind from the beginning, which it makes sense. Target Masters and Power Masters don't have like a huge amount of demand behind them. This is like the first attempt at like a Power Master brand new figure. In the vein of like it has its own little minifigure to go with it. They did like point out like they like the giant engine block that it turns into. I'm not a fan of it myself. I think it looks a little bit silly. My hope was that the engine piece on this could be removed and placed directly onto the vehicle mode. And my idea behind that, the reason I thought that is because if you look at the artwork on the packaging, that's what it looks like it does. But apparently not. You can see from the toy itself, it does not have any kind of like 5mm piece where that could come off. So it's a little bit unfortunate. It's just a really big, silly looking engine. And it sounds like this is the direction they're going to go with for any future Power Masters. They did put it out there that they are looking for audience feedback about like, are there Power Masters, interest in them, or which ones would you want them to do? For anyone who might be listening from Hasbro, Darkwing, Dreadwind, Darkwing and Dreadwind. If you could just like, I don't know, like, I was going to say Commander, but that seems like a little too much. I feel like if you two-packed them as a leader class toy with two proper Power Master accessory figures and still had the interlocking jet mode, you'd have to throw in a little bit more to get up to a $60 price point. But you might actually get away with that. You might actually get away with like a dark or a Red Wing 2-pack. I don't know. I want those two. I want those two as far as Power Masters go. They suggested like Power Master Optimus. We're gonna get another Power Master Optimus at some point. They are absolutely not leaving that one on. They are not leaving that one on the table at all.
Of course not.
We basically know Commanders and Titans that are upcoming. I guarantee you at some point that's going to be a Commander class toy, a Power Master. We've seen things like the Armada Optimus that kind of like basically proves that that's the size class for things like that. we move through a few others, so they did show off that they are rerunning Vortex. It was a last wave figure, so they wanted to make sure everyone had a chance to get it. From the toy shop, I do know I've had people asking, do you have the Vortex in stock? Because it was a little bit hard to get. So not a bad idea to just do a second run of that one. Again, it is one of those things that makes me think back to the promise of we're not doing package refreshes anymore. Well, here you go. Here you go. But they also showed off Swindle for the first time, and Swindle still looks good. Still very, like, chunky and, you know, kind of fat for a Swindle. But here we get to see the backside of it, too, where, to give you some idea of how it transforms. It seems actually pretty involved for its size, so, I am looking forward to it. Because, you know, I want my complete Combaticons. They do look decent. You know, like there's not a bad looking Swindle in the least. Just like a little bit of junk in the trunk that ends up as big stomper boots. But that's about it. Everything else on it looks pretty solid. And then they showed off Vector Prime as well. And then they actually did reference that, yeah, this is the Galaxy Force repaint. Interesting to me, they kept referring to this as like, oh, well, now all the 13 primes are complete. And I'm like, are you literally just ignoring the fact that this is a repaint and that you've already done this before? Are you just, like, pretending that this toy didn't previously exist? I'm a little bit concerned about that is very shiny brown plastic that I see there. It reminds me of some problematic plastic colors we've had in the past, but we know Hasbro's a lot better at avoiding that now, so we'll see. It is a nice looking repaint of that Vector Prime. This is one of those where I didn't pre-order this. I pre-ordered Swindle, Joyride, and oh my god, why am I blanking? Tailgate. I pre-ordered those three, and that is mostly just because it fills gaps in the collection. A lot of these other repaints, retools, and things just did not catch me. They are things that, like, if I see it on sale at some point, maybe I would pick it up. This one is one where if I went into a Target or a Walmart and I wanted to walk home with something and there was nothing else, nothing brand new, yeah, I wouldn't mind grabbing this. I don't dislike this mold as much as a lot of other people do. And I do think these colors look really, really good on it. So yeah, and I do like that they fully painted it. Like the chest, the cyber key, the back wing, like the wings, all of it is very nicely painted. Better painted than the American one. Better painted than the original American one from the Cybertron line. I do like this overall. I do like it.
All
overall.
right.
It's a pre-order purchase.
Time for my favorite photography trick.
If I find it, I'll probably grab it.
Placing the unassembled and assembled pieces side by side.
Now, we move into the leader stuff. They discuss the Mega Zarak. Again, no real surprises here. It's just a straight up repaint. I still think it's really cool that we're getting like previously exclusive stuff as brand new, fully modernized.
At Animation Lazy 482.
Really cool,
Comment sections are anathema to my phone
I'm
apparently.
excited to see how this
Sorry to hear that.
plays with like the Titan parts from Tidal Wave, because we really didn't get. There's no version of Tidal Wave that actually matches these colors. Obviously not something that they would have thought of back in the day, but we get to play around with it now, right? So this will be cool. I want to see the shots of that. And they discussed the Unicron Soldier, and we pretty much guessed where a lot of the inspiration for this came from. They did mention like the various avatars and things of Unicron from the past, like that's kind of what inspired this particular release. They did bring up the deluxe Unicron from Cybertron, and that one was also a big inspiration. We can see details that match that particular Unicron, especially like the front end of the tank, the details on the shoulders. All of that is taken from the Cybertron version. And then the chest and head are obviously taken from the Unicron cultist from the Marvel comics. These are weird. I still profess that this is just like, we needed some kind of Unicron on the shelves. It's been a long time. So, yeah. they did this because we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I thought there was going to be like a slide of like, oh well, here's the pre-order, and we could have seen the stock photo. This one was this one they explained was like, we know that there is a demand for Primus and Unicron because we're doing Age of the Primes, the 13 Primes, and all that. So this is a way of like filling a gap for now and having some Unicron representation amongst all the Primes, which is not a bad idea in and of itself. I think what was interesting is they specifically pointed out that they are not going to rerun the HasLab toy, that is never going to be available again. They want to stick to that, which is a fascinating thing to bring up. But they did mention that, yeah, like when we do another Unicron. So, like, they absolutely have other Unicron toys in mind.
Oh, there we go.
But they
Okay.
do flat out acknowledge it ain't going to be the HasLab, which is, it's just an interesting thing to state. It's an interesting thing to state. It does make me wonder what else I have cooked up. Because they are right. Eventually, we'll get a new Unicron. I mean, it's inevitable. The character's too popular, and it's, you know, obviously it's a trademark thing. They have to keep pumping the characters out if they want to keep trademarks, etc. So, we'll get another Unicron. It's just a matter of how and when. But the fact that they're mentioning it, like specifically pointing it out, tells me they know. They know what it's going to be and when it's going to be. They're just not privy to share it with us right now. Still looks cool. Okay, now, here's the big reveal of this one, for me, anyway. This is a Pulse exclusive Power Links Red Alert with not one, not two, but three, eight. 8 mini-cons packed in all at once, which is a lot. So I think when they kept promising that they would be getting mini-cons out, I think all of us kind of expected some big multi-pack situation. I don't think we considered that they would be packed in with a larger toy, however. So, to be real, I'm not huge on the Power Links Red Alert figure. I mean, I don't mind the color scheme all that much. You'll excuse me as my throat is trying very hard to go dry. I don't mind the color scheme that much. I do think the gray makes his robot parts a little bit dull. It does make the orange pop a little bit more, but like I feel like the robot mode parts need to be the popping. But it's not bad. It's
At
okay
Animation Lazy
deco. It's
482.
okay deco.
I'm passing out on my feet. Night, man.
I didn't realize you were here. Have a good night.
What's wild to me is like the 8 minicons. So this is when we can go over to this photo, which is a stock image of the entire thing in robot mode. So we're getting Long Arm, we're getting Swindle, we're getting Leader 1 and Sparkplug. We're getting a repaint of the We're getting a wind paint of the Wind Shear minicon that came with the Shattered Glass release. Was it? Yeah, the Shattered Glass release for the Wheeljack mold. We're getting that proper color. They have to name it Hawk now because apparently we lost the name for that one. And then we're getting the Dark Saber team, which I guess I should have called it. Like I should have assumed that if they were doing a multi-pack of mini-cons, they wouldn't just be all brand new molds. They would have to budget it somehow, and getting a repaint set out there, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They had to rename one of these too. We lost Runway as a name apparently, so they had to call the new one Jackknife, which is not a name that makes any sense for a jet. But doesn't matter. They've been on record. You can name them whatever you want. They don't care. It's just what they have to put on the box. The set itself coming into $80, I really feel like the only reason they did this way is because they wanted to get that Power Links Red Alert out there, but knew that it would die a death if they put it out at retail at any level. Because, let's be honest, that Red Alert toy, despite being a good toy, has shelf-warmed all over the place. Despite being first wave Age of the Primes, I can still go find that toy. It's not a problem. I know the Walmart I would go to right now in order to get a brand new copy if I wanted one. So to get this version out, they kind of had to because they got Power Links Hot Shot out there, and this one goes right alongside it. Obviously, the Power Links Starscream is out there, but it is an exclusive to Japan. That still makes absolutely no sense to me because I feel like that one would have sold a lot better for a multi-pack like this. But no, they were talking about like budget here, and like budget is probably another reason why this is a big $80 multi-pack for everything. Um, yeah, it just feels like a scheme to get that Power Links out because they knew that a multi-pack of minicons would sell on its own. The reason that Red Alert is in there is just to get that Red Alert out because they know there's no other way it's gonna sell. And I do think it's gonna. I've already seen where it's dragging down the interest in this set, despite being exactly what we were hoping for. Now, to the other point, they were talking about budget wise, like how they don't know how they managed this because they kept being told this is not budget. This is not budget conscious. We can't do this in budget. I'm going to tell you how they do it in budget. Look at all the gray across Sparkplug, Leader 1, Long Arm. It's all the same shade of gray. So there's a lot of gang molding going on here. And in particular on that, I will tell you this, looking at this toy, I'm going to guarantee you that that entire Long Arm is all gang molded to the other ones. The black probably shared the black parts with Swindle. You can see where a lot of his robot and even the back panel on him is all the same gray plastic that's making up the gray for Sparkplug and Leader 1. And it's just painted over in black and blue. So that's how they budgeted in. Is like, I guarantee you all these figures are gang molded together. So
Oh, that's not a
at some
surprise.
point they'll probably put these out again in their Power Links colors. Hopefully, like, you get a proper retool of Sparkplug to get his Corona design. And they will likely, the next set will likely be like Swindle, Sparkplug, Leader 1, and Long Arm in their Power Links colors, and then the other four that they throw in are going to be brand new minicons for whoever else they release. Because they did announce during this that they are doing Demolishor and Cyclonus. They specifically mentioned that they hadn't done those yet, and they know people are asking for them. So they did confirm we are getting those. And that's kind of exciting, not only because it's two very glaring holes in an Armada collection, like we're missing the episode 1 cast out, with those two missing. But also, they're good designs that deserve a modern take. Like Demolishor especially. Like Demolishor made for a really good and, for Armada, well-articulated toy back in the day. I would love to see a modern take on that vintage design. I'd also really like to see the repaints. Like, I need that toy to exist so I can get the appropriate repaints for it. For instance, like, I really, really like the Energon repaint of that toy. That Energon repaint is stupid expensive. So I have a shot. If that Demolishor comes out, that was an on-screen character, I have a shot of that toy now. I have a shot of that existing. So yeah, Armada stuff is looking pretty good. Like, we know we're getting the stuff that we wanted. We know that minicons are here, and they did announce they're doing more minicons after this. So this is just the first volley. Yeah, I'm assuming that probably a Power Links repaint of Demolishor or Cyclonus would include more, or potentially if they do get a release of Starscream in the Thundercracker colors, I assume that might also be a way of getting them out. We'll see. We'll see. They have options. Real quick, they did announce that some stuff on Hasbro Pulse is on 40% sale, so 40% off for this really big Flame Toys Ultra Magnus. I know my friend Evander is probably losing his mind over that because 40% off this is an enormous discount, but also it's still crazy expensive at like $360. I mean, Flame Toys does good work, and this is a really, really large figure. So if you're a whale, then you can whale for a little bit less right now. Okay, it's just a neat little discount thing they announced. See, they announced the normal stuff. We know the soundtrack is on the way. We know that it's coming back to theaters on Transformer Day, September 17th. We kind of all knew that already. And we get into San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, and this is where we get really, really fun stuff. Exclusive 1 comes in a cereal box. A cereal box that is so serious about
All
it that like
right.
ingredient list is there, cutaway stuff to like fold up the box into something else is there. Um, it's reusing the original G1 art, but it's a bowl of Energon cubes, which is hysterical. Um, yeah, get Optimus Prime and Autobot Jazz Hero Autobots inside. So, if you're wondering, the Jazz thing is because there is a pretty famous variant of the G1 Jazz toy that was only available through Cookie Crisp. So it's kind of so there's a serial connection with Jazz. The packaging comes in a cereal bag. It's kind of amazing. It's a really, really funny way of going all in on it. I wish we had better photos of this because this is a very weird release. So what you're getting in this package is the Legacy United G1 toy Optimus Prime in cartoon accurate colors with a brand new head. Got a brand new head on this toy. It's a vintage G1 trailer, like from like the previous Optimus Prime reissue, with a massive logo tampograph all down the side. You're getting like all the vintage, you're getting all the accessories the original toy came with. You're getting roller, and then the big thing about this is you're getting this tiny little Jazz, which is like like old school, well not old school, but like it's legend scale. They called it like they call it like super core class or whatever. Um, this is more. It looks more along the lines of like probably like previous Legends class, like Legends back when it was in like the War for Cybertron trilogy. Level. No, that's Siege. That's Siege level. Let's go farther back. Prime Wars trilogy. So like the kind of like Legends class stuff that came out during like Combiner Wars and Titan's Return. It feels like it's about that size for a Jazz, but it's just this kind of squat, dumpy little Jazz. Seems like a very simplified version of the character, but it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, right? It's wild that it's a completely new mold coming out as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. They don't normally do that. So I'm hoping that there's some weird way that that comes out separately, but being a con exclusive, probably not in the normal Jazz colors. That's the unfortunate. It's a really unique piece. And then there's this. We have a Gem and the Holograms collab with a brand new repaint of Blaster, which is amazing. Happy Pride, by the way. We stand trans rights Blaster in this house. It's beautifully garish for being a Gem and the Holograms reference. It is incredibly bright, like 90s girl, electric blue and neon pink. And yeah, like they went above and beyond on this one. Like the entire box is like hologram printed. The electric guitar, I don't know if I see it. Yeah, the electric guitar, which is already very 90s electric guitar, transforms into a keytar, which is a great little trick. I love that. The big thing to talk about with these is the other cassettes that it comes with. So, unfortunately, if you want more cassettes, especially for Blaster, you are stuck buying the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive set. Because this comes with Rosanna, Glit, and Sunder, who are all listed with the names KP. We know what KP stands for. They were very cheeky about what KP stands for. Oh my god, we have Kiss Player toys coming out in 2026. What? This is kind of wild. But it does play in. So if you know like the later lore of Kiss Players, that it's all just like a
So what's the trick
universe and time stream hopping pop group, this makes absolute sense to
pops
back
up?
in with the
Okay,
Blaster
okay.
that's all Gem and the Holograms inspired. I get it. I get it. I mean,
Okay,
it
so
works.
it pops.
It makes
That's
sense.
clever.
It's ridiculous, but you know,
So for
that's
some
Gem for
deeper
you.
benders up for some
I
transformation
believe
thing.
that is the entirety of the live stream. I was kind of expecting this to just kind of be like run of the mill, like, oh, well, they already dropped everything good. But no, we had some really fun stuff to talk about. There's some really weird things coming out, and hopefully we can get our hands on the SDCC exclusive stuff. Sometimes that comes to Pulse after the show, but you have to be really quick, so probably only Pulse members are going to be able to get that. Otherwise, hope you got a friend going to SDCC who can mule a few things for you. Um, but the rest of the stuff looks fun too in its own way, and I'm glad to get the beyond. This is why we talk this, even though if they do the announcement images in advance, it's the behind the scenes stuff that I'm interested in. Finding out they're doing more Armada characters, more mini cons. That's the kind of stuff I watch these for, even if I think I know what's coming out in them. But that is my recap. Those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below which release you are looking forward to the most. Yeah, and that's your assignment for the day. So with that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch.
Alright, leg's done.
Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.
See something here.
Before we begin, thank you very much to Mega Plus for joining the Patreon campaign. I didn't make it to that was the name they wanted to shout it out. There you go. Thank you very much for the support. Always appreciate it. You are due a
Okay, so the
request,
thruster
though,
on the
if you wanna
bottom.
DM
Okay.
me a video you would like to see me do, as long as it's within the vibe of what I do. I will let you know if it is something that I think needs to be adjusted, but you know what? For the most part, just tell me what you want. We'll see what we can do. Now, speaking of people telling us what we want, we need to address the last Hasbro Pulse live stream. They are introducing Power Masters back into the toy market, and they asked us, well, what do you want? So I'm here to answer. For the collective of the Transformers fandom, I am going to speak on behalf of all of us and tell Hasbro exactly what we want for Power Masters. I am sure I will not screw this up in any way, shape, or form, trying to represent an incredibly diverse fandom with varying opinions that can wildly differ. Or you know what? I'll just let you know what I want out of Power Masters as far as like new toys go. We can do that. I suppose that's fine too. So I will tell you right off the bat, our introduction is Joyride, because obviously that mold that they did for Sure Shot was designed to eventually be Joyride. I don't want what they did with Joyride. Let's put it that way. Toy-wise, Joyride looks fine. There are adaptations in order to fit the modern mold, for instance, and I don't think they're necessarily bad. The original Joyride, for instance, had like all red arms and didn't really look all that good, if I'm going to be completely honest. I do like the color variations a lot more here. It definitely feels a lot more varied. In general, it's better looking than the original toy was. A little bit more colorful, a little bit more balanced at the same time.
Maybe not.
With that said, robot mode is not my issue. My issue is this thing. My issue
I
is
will be right back. I need something. Ah, they were here the whole time. Whatever.
Is that thing sitting on top of this dune buggy? So has like they made this sound like this was a really cool thing, right? Like during the feed, they literally said like, look at this big cool engine. Like Mark is trying so hard to upsell this gigantic block that's vaguely molded like an engine on top as like a really cool feature in addition. And if you like the look of a gigantic engine block sticking up, I'm not going to fault you. But I do want us to admit it is a retooled Target Master that now just has engine parts on top of it instead of gun barrels. And there is part of me in my head screaming, I think I'd rather just have the gun barrels. If you look at it this way, it means the accessory that was originally for both modes no longer is. You had the gun mode, which could mount as a weapon on the vehicle mode, just like most Transformer guns can mount on the vehicle mode. But in robot mode, this is now just a standard, normal action figure, little minifigure to go with your main action figure. But it doesn't do anything for him after that. It's just a little companion guy. It's it's like basically like a toy dog following him around. It's not doing anything except making him look a little bit more impressive, right? I would rather have the gun. I'll be honest with you. Like, I would rather forget the premise of the Power Master thing here and just have the gun. But no, it's lacking. It's lacking. I understand this might be just because it's a retool, and they don't really have the space to adapt anything else. Future Power Masters, if we get brand new molds for them, I would rather go with like having a cavity open on the figure where these could slot into, thus the engine actually looks like it's integrating with the vehicle and fits a lot more flush to the lines of the car, jet, truck, whatever it happens to be. You know, I would much rather it be designed to incorporate the engine, not just like let it sit on top like this abandoned Lego project. And if you want the inspiration for this, if you want like a way to get around this, so you don't have to look any further than the Power of the Primes toy line. Specifically, any of the deluxes that came with that big fist gun. Because the fist gun had that little trick to it, where I guess it's not really a gun. It was the armor. I hated that gimmick. But in order to make it feel like a little bit more of an accessory, and to give you sockets for putting in like Prime Masters, it had that little cover, right? So you took that little cover out of the fist, and that little cover now became like a little handgun, and that gave you the cavity for the power for the Titan Master or Prime Master, whichever one you used, to plug in. That was how you were supposed to like plug one of those into the armor mode, right? You could adapt the exact same trick for these Power Masters. You could even scale it the same. Like, I don't think all of them need to be like the size of a Target Master accessory. They can be scaled down closer to Titan. You could literally do it as like a 3-piece like component. You know, like body with head and arms sculpted in, legs on a hinge that fold 180 degrees, engine sculpt on the back. 3 parts, in and out. Just plug it in straight into the vehicle mode, right? Simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. And yeah, like this kind of proved that you could do it that way. Now, the gap would have to be built in, and rather than like a cover that turned into a gun, it mostly would be like a cover that if you weren't using the Power Master, you could have this as like an accessory or a piece that goes somewhere else in the robot mode or the vehicle mode, whatever. Basically, just something to make it look like a solid toy without the engine, but you know, has this little removable piece that will make the engine look a lot more flush, you know? And that's really what it needs. If it's not that, then I need that engine piece to be on a port that I can take off and plug in, because that's what your art depicted. That is not the engine that's on that toy. That is the top of the engine directly onto the toy. And this is the other solution that you could go with. Just just has to be removable on a 3 or 5 millimeter post. Plug it into the top of the vehicle. It's sculpted to fit flush. Looks way better than whatever this Joyride is doing in vehicle mode, right? So I would do that. I would do it in one of those two ways. But let's be real here. When they ask, like, what would you like to see out of new Power Masters? We don't really have a whole lot of room, do we? There's only 7. For the US toy line, we had 7 of them. We don't have a whole lot of wiggle room on this one. We genuinely don't. Even if we expand this to include the Godmasters, we still barely have, like, enough for even half of a toy line. And really, we have even less than that. You know, it wasn't that long ago we got a brand new Double Dealer who was basically everything Double Dealer needs to be. I mean, yes, it's using Soundwave cassettes instead of, instead of like actual Power Masters, but I felt like for what they were, that was a heck of a lot closer than using a folded up Target Master with an engine block on its legs. This toy was fine. I feel like this toy had some tolerance issues and a little bit of engineering flaw, but really, like, if they really wanted to just make a run of Power Masters, I could absolutely see this retooled to include, like, something akin to the Power Masters without having to have, like, cassette accessories, and maybe potentially, like, shore up some of that engineering, like loose joints especially. I don't know what it is. Double dealers cannot get lucky with joints. They just can't. There's always got to be some kind of QC issue. But you know what? We already kind of covered the base on one of the most prominent Power Masters. And even if we include God Masters, we've done that too. I think the Titans Return Overlord toy is pretty good for what it is. I think this is a really good toy. I mean, it's articulated, does all the Overlord stuff, as well as you can on a leader class budget at the time. You're swapping out Titan Master for Power Master, but frankly, I call that an upgrade in the first place. And let's be real, the only reason any of us bought that screaming-faced Nightbeat Titan Master they sold was to plug 2 of them into this guy's chest and watch his boobs scream. Hey, we find our own way of having fun. But I think this toy was great as it is. Now, granted, if you look at the Japanese version, there is definitely more that it can do. There's accessories that it's lacking. The base mode is supposed to be way more drawn out and way more expansive than the actual American the American toy ended up being. This definitely could be done. I feel like this is perfect, like, commander scale choice. I feel like he makes a great choice for a commander at some point. This is what I would like. I would like you to redo another Overlord, doing everything the Overlord toy does, but up its scale, up its budget, etc. Still, I would almost consider that check boxed, or that box checked. Strike that, reverse it. So, we could technically do the same thing with Super Jinrai. Obviously, they already mentioned Power Master Optimus Prime, right? So, in that case, they're going to do another one, right? Like, there is nothing. Like, I like what they did during Titan's Return. I think the only flaw to this toy was the fact that, one, the American version kept a lot of, like, the heavy tooling. Like, trying to split the difference between Super Jinrai and God Jinrai, I didn't like that so much. But the overall figure I thought was actually pretty solid. Considering it's an Ultra Magnus retool, I think it's very solid. And I think the only thing weighing it down was literally God Bomber. Because God Bomber was not designed very well. Or this toy was not designed to handle God Bomber. One or the other. Take your pick. Still, it's still a good figure. But again, does not quite scratch the itch, does it? I could absolutely go for it. Having the masterpiece makes me go, like, yeah, like, there's actually a lot more they could do. We could absolutely have, like, a much more, like, fully fleshed out super, like, Power Master Optimus Prime. Super mode and all. Also, this is kind of like where I put my case forward of like removable panel and gap for the Power Master to go into rather than sticking out of the toy. Can you imagine this Optimus Prime in vehicle mode with just this massive companion cube sticking out the front of the vehicle mode? You've got to clean it up, Hasbro. I think if any request for Power Masters is heard, it has to be, they have to be cleaner than Joyride turned out. That's my big thing right now. Just, it's got to be cleaner than the Joyride. But, point being, this is definitely something they will do at some point, and if anything, we have proof positive that we are going through, like, an age of Commander-class Optimus Primes are just the best Optimus Primes you are going to get. You know, the Armada one, absolutely fantastic. Like, genuinely one of the best toys that they have done in recent years. The 86 Optimus Prime, one of the best toys they have done in years. Like, we're in this kind of golden age where they kind of figured out the budget of a super mode Optimus Prime in that size scale. And I have no doubt they could do the exact same thing with a Power Master Optimus Prime, and if they mention it on the live stream, I guarantee you, it's already on a design table somewhere. They're already figuring it out. But, like, honestly, Double Dealer, Overlord, Optimus, this is easy, right? This is easy stuff about Power Masters. Like, I can give general advice of how I like to see them done, but when it comes to, like, character requests, I feel like, yeah, like, they know. They know the ones that everyone's going to want and ask for because, as we've seen, they've already done them. So who is missing? Well, there is Dreadwing and Darkwing, or Darkwing, Dreadwing. Knew I wouldn't get that right the first time. Dreadwing and Darkwing. Dreadwing, the two of them combined. The two toys that make up Dreadwing. They are one of the most prominent things about Power Masters. If you are not looking at Power Master Optimus Prime, you are generally looking toward those two, Darkwing, Dreadwind. And I feel like those are the obvious ones. They came out during Power of the Primes, but they were retools of the aerial bots. So between all the things they had to do as, you know, like Combiner War style combiners, and they had to have the combination vehicle mode gimmick, I feel like those got really bogged down, especially because they also had to work within the engineering limits of being a retool. They are incredibly compromised figures, and I would absolutely love to see a brand new take on them. If I have requests for Power Masters, it does not get any higher than those two. But those two also raise a little bit of an issue that we could have, and it kind of relates to how they handled Titan Masters. So, when it comes to Japanese versions, very similar to what they did with Titan Masters, they would probably end up doing with these Power Masters. So, here's Hydra. Hydra, hail Hydra, hail Hydra. I'm going too fast now. Hydra is the Japanese version of Darkwing, and the problem with that is there's only one color difference. They swapped the light blue for red, and now it's a completely different character. And that makes a very difficult sell in the US. I know Hasbro really, really likes to have these minor repaints they don't have to put too much work into. It's why the Retro G1 Walmart line exists. So, you know they like to put out, like, slightly repainted versions, modified versions, call it a different character versions. Like, we know, we've been seeing it for years now. I know they would do this, but I feel like doing Buster and Hydra would be really underwhelming, no matter what. Because, like, yeah, like, this would be a shoo-in for Generation Selects, right? I wouldn't see it at a retail release because it really would look like the exact same toys in package outside, like, the people who are observant enough to notice the slight change. But that said, I figured out the way I want it done. If anyone at Hasbro really is listening to me, I figured out how I want it done. It is absolutely a Selects release. So you two-pack the two as their Master Force counterpart.
Excuse me.
But you throw in a little bit of something. So, do you know what that is? So when Headmasters was done in Japan, they were smart enough to actually realize kids were going to lose these heads. So they released individual Headmasters in order to solve that. They were brand new sculpts, brand new characters, and the idea was that you could not only replace the heads that you might have lost, but also it adds to the play pattern. So you can swap it around to different figures, see the stats that come up on the chest with the new heads, etc. And, have a little bit of variety with your Headmaster play. And that was great. That's a very smart idea by Takara. They did the same thing with Power Masters. Special individual ones, brand new recolors of existing Power Master toys, so they weren't new sculpt like the Japanese exclusive Headmasters were, but the spirit is there. They were replacements. So you could do the same thing. I would love this Master Force multi-pack that included Buster Hydra and then the three different individual target, like Power Masters, retooled from, like repainted from like whatever new tooling those get. It'd be a great little bonus to throw in. It's a fun little thing to make sure that they are all included. It makes for an interesting selects pack, right? Now, the only thing that gets me about Hasbro saying like, yeah, we're moving into Power Masters now, is I kind of think back, well, like, wait, we're not even done with Headmasters. Titan's Return was a long time ago at this point, and we're still not even done with Headmasters. Like, we didn't get any of the juniors, or the molds that became the juniors, rather. Like, we have a Minerva, but she's not a Headmaster. No Nightbeat. Like, here's a character who actually has, like, some popularity in the fandom. No new Nightbeat toy since, like, the original Generations line. And it's weird. It's weird. We're talking about moving on. And, like, I see how, like, the original, like, smaller Decepticon Headmasters, like Fangry, they've all gotten toys. We have a Horrible. How did we get a Horrible before we got a Nightbeat? I'm still waiting for them to finish this. I'm still waiting for them to finish Target Masters. Like, we're retooling Target Masters into Power Masters now. We haven't even gotten all of them yet. Like, I'm still looking for, like, a decent Crosshairs that actually looks like Crosshairs. I'm looking for Quick Mix, toy I grew up with. I'd love to have a modern one. I don't want to just be a retool of a Constructicon. I actually want it to look like Quick Mix. It's weird to see them moving on to different, like, sections of Transformer, like, subgroups before they finish prior ones. Because we know, like, from their own statement in the stream, they're basically done now with the Minibot collection. They finally got all the Minibots out as new deluxes. Aside from just, like, they want to do more of the weirdo repaints, which is great. But it also led to them saying, well, it might be time to move into Throttle Bots. The Throttle Bots are so boring. They all transform the exact same as the robot modes. All kind of have the same look to them. I don't know about that. But it does show that, like, in other ways, they are willing to stick to something until it's complete and then move on. We do the same thing with the Primes. So why are we now getting... I don't know, we're moving into, like, these guys when I'm still waiting for the other guys to finish up. Oh well. That again is just a minor observation. It's a nitpick, if anything. This is about Power Masters and how I want them released. And I think that generally fills up the thoughts. Like, I don't want them to fill it up. I don't want them to do the retro Headmaster thing where they just fill the wall full of, like, slightly different versions of all of these toys. Even though I know they're going to, because so many of them will require new molds that need some retools or repaints. Because a lot of them have none. No obvious ones, anyway. Like, I don't want gigantic, like, Target Masters with no gun barrels, pretending to be engines. I want them to actually plug in as engines. And I want some way of making sure it still looks like a good vehicle, even if I don't have the engine plugged in. That's what I am after. And beyond that, just get the characters right. You start with Dreadwing and Darkwing. I'm gonna write that down next time. You get my drift at this point. But those are the ideas. That's where my brain is, Power Master wise. It's a it's the lesser of the masters. But there are ways you could actually make it kind of cool. So let me know your thoughts. Hasbro apparently wants our opinions on what we want for Power Masters, so share them in the comments below. Who knows? Someone might see them. And with that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.
Okay, let's move over to turn off your version of YouTube. My mic, turn off. Okay, assemble this waist. Why that end up in there? Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, we got a lower body. Okay, D25. I'll do that off for now. Should have got a picture of my notes. Basically, I built the core, then I built the two sides, and attached them to the core. Okay. So I'm going to stop at the torso tonight, but let's just go ahead and get this going. Actually, I need to step away for a few minutes here. Maybe. Let's finish this up. Oh, there it is. that will do it for tonight. Like I said, next week, or maybe... No, I don't think I'm going to be able to do midweek. Hopefully next week, I will be back to finish the inner frame. Maybe start the armor. Kind of doubt it, but we'll just see what happens. But yep, thank you for joining me. I've been King Kuga. This is Snap Together Saturday. I stream every Saturday around 9. That's the idea. Building Gundam, Mini-Pla, SMP, Zoids, Figure Out Standard. What else do I have in my backlog right now? I think that's everything I have at the moment. Sometimes I'll dip into other stuff. Very, very, very occasionally I do Lego builds. That's infrequent. So, anyway, thank you for coming out. Have a great night.